Well then, welcome back to the next deeper video. You join myself, Martin, and we've also got James just around the corner as well with us, and we are at Balkin Lakes in Farringdon. We thought we'd come down with the guys from CARPology to come and film a bit of a sort of deeper feature, how-to tips and tricks, and sort of little bits of technical detail along the way for you guys that may even own a deeper or potentially looking at one. So we've got sort of 24 hours or so-ish on our hands to, like I say, talk you through all the bits and pieces around the deepers themselves, and hopefully put one or two of these lovely fish that reside in here on the mat as well. So without further ado, let's get stuck in.
So you'll notice that I'm not actually fishing particularly far out. That's because on the deeper, it's revealed that it's very, very deep. It slopes down to sort of 17 foot, and actually in the middle, it goes down even deeper. But I've decided to fish on the marginal shelf. It's showing me on here that it starts at sort of 17, then pulls up, gradually gets shallower and shallower. So at the bottom of that shelf, it's 17 foot, and it's nice and gravelly. After doing a bit of leading around as well, once I'd indicated the depth, I feel like a little sort of gravelly area at the bottom of the shelf, which potentially indicates a feeding area. So I've clipped that up. All the rods are going to go on that 17-foot spot, and hopefully it's going to do a few bites. That's the last rod out. Now I'm fishing all three rods, like I mentioned, at the bottom of the shelf. I did use the deeper initially as almost like a marker float. I flicked it out there, and that gave me an indication of the distance I was fishing. So I could catapult baits, spread them all around that 17-foot spot. Like I said, all three are kind of dotted in a line along that 17-foot, and I've spread boilies around. The reason I've gone for a boilie approach is there are some grow-ons in here, and by that I mean very, very small carp. So fishing loads of bits and pieces, I might get a little bit plagued by those little ones. So yeah, I'm hopefully going all out boilies to try and catch a few of the better fish.
Right, so I am on my last cast. I've had a real good investigation from left to right, 30, 40 yards out there. I've got around 17 and a half foot. Now what I want to try and find is maybe that 12 to sort of 15-foot zone. Believe it or not, like I say, 17 foot out there, but it does go twice, 3 times as deep out from around 100 yards or so in this swim. So there'd be absolutely no way that I need to fish that far out. Retrieving it nice and slowly is giving me a really nice scan quality. Clearly make out the lake bed nice and clean. It's got a nice tint of yellow about it. So I will just stick a clip on that just so I can get a rough gauge on how many wraps out it is roughly. And then what I'll do is I'll be able to wrap my rods up at the same time, get me Deeper Chirp 2 off, probably get my spom on. I think I'm going to fish probably all 3 rods on the same spot and give them a real good hit of bait. Now there's a good few hundred fish in here, you know, 500-600 fish I'm led to believe, so I'm hoping that they're going to be hungry. Coming up that marginal shelf now, so we'll have him in, we'll get this wrapped up and we'll get the fishing rod sorted.
Well, that didn't take overly long. I think the rods have been in 45 minutes, something like that, and they've got on that bait straight away. This one was just on the bottom of that 17-foot shelf, and yeah, the rod's just ripped into life. Right, he's a nice fish, lovely. Go on, mate. Yes, it's a good start. Nice fish. Well, I'd unhooked the fish in the net thinking I'm going to get a rod straight back onto the zone. And before I knew it, the cameraman was shouting, "You're in," because I didn't put the alarms on and then the clutch was just spinning. And yeah, we're in again. I do enjoy it down here. It can be pretty prolific fishing when you get it right. I think One thing people don't do over here is fish on the marginal shelves. Because it's a big lake, I think it'd be very easy to fish at distance. But I'm fishing like 8.5 wraps out because it's still in 17 foot of water. And yeah, it's working. They're clearly on the teeth of this wind. Well, that's the first one from pretty much a double take. It wasn't long. I caught one shortly after this one. It was on a solid bag in 17 foot of water. It was on a little wafter, little pellet wafter. Yeah, real pretty fish from bulking. And the other one is a little bit scalier. So I'll slip this one back, take a look at the other one. Well, there is the second part of the brace. Lovely scaly character, this one. This one came on a balanced bottom bait. Very, very pretty carp. I just heard another one show over the spot. So hopefully it won't be long before it rips off again. But yeah, real pretty carp, that one.
Well then, my first bulking lake carp taken off that spot that I found with the deeper, the depths that I wanted to sort of fish to, around the sort of 15 to 16 foot area, and introduction, a little bit of bait. I'm not gonna lie, I had this one within half an hour. They were straight on it. So really, really happy about that. He's got a nice belly on him as well. So definitely reckon he's nudging the 20 pound mark, that's for certain. So yeah, well happy to get off the mark. We will get a few pictures quickly, slipping back. See if we can stick another 1 or 2 on the mat. Oh, you little he's gone. He's gone. Oh, you little So we was going to do a bit of, you know, returner spiel, that sort of business. But the minute I lowered him into the water in the retainer, he's already helped himself back off to his home. So yeah, empty sling. But whilst I was playing that fish, I also noticed James has had one. So I think the guys are going to head on round and yeah, show you what's resting in James's net.
Well, there we go. The pick of the bunch so far. A beautiful bulking linear. This one again was taken over a scattering of boilies, scattering of triple X boilies. And yeah, he's probably been the pick of the bunch so far. Again, fishing 17 foot of water just at the bottom of the shelf. And they seem to keep on coming. So let's get her back, see if we can catch a bigger one.
Right then, the session has got off to a great start with a few fish caught between myself and James. But before we go any further, just here are our top 5 tips to note when using your deeper. So setting up your sort of deeper for first use when you get to your desired swim. Firstly, use smartphone or your tablet. You need to pop it into aeroplane mode. I prefer doing that way and it kills any mobile data. If not, turn off your mobile data and your Wi-Fi assist, just leaving on your Wi-Fi. Then once you've attached your deeper to your fishing rod, lower it into the edge of the margin, a couple of rod lengths out. What that will do is activate the built-in Wi-Fi network. Then what you need to do is just go into your Wi-Fi settings on your smartphone and look for Deeper Chirp Plus 2, like you would any other sort of network that you're trying to connect to. Once you've done that, open up your Deeper app and the two will pair. You'll see a nice big green button on the screen. Just press connect and the two will be talking. You're then presented with a number of options depending on how you want to use it. So whether you're fishing from casting or a bait boat or ice fishing, depending on how you're using your Deeper Sonar, this will present the options for you to choose from. It will then say connect him and connected. It will start to scan in the edge, which means you're ready to then cast it out into the lake and start finding your features.
So this is the hardware that I use when using a deeper. Now, generally you can use a normal carp rod and reel, but I like to use my spodding kit basically. I've got a big pit reel there, it's an Emblem spodding reel and a Kaizen spod rod. Now mounted on that spod rod, you'll notice I've got the smartphone Deeper mount. Now this basically keeps your phone really secure and in position, and actually allows you to cast the Deeper whilst your phone is in position. Saves you just reaching out, getting your phone, leaving it over there. It's all in, ready to go and ready to retrieve that Deeper. Now on the actual spool itself, it's very important to use a trusted, reliable and strong line. Now I actually like to use braid. I'm only fishing close range today, so I'm not using a hugely thick diameter, but if I am going out sort of 80 to 100 yards, I will use a shock leader just to be sure. So yeah, that's my hardware when using a Deeper. Nothing too complicated, works perfectly.
Right, so my next tip then is always make sure that you connect the little bolt that you get in your Deeper box to your sonar in the correct position. So there's 3 bolt attachment holes on your Deeper sonar. For this purpose of casting out into the lake, we want to use the bottom hole attachment. So you just take your screw and just put it in nice and tight so it's nice and firm and screwed into the bottom hole attachment. What that is going to do is when you're retrieving in your sonar, it's going to be sat in the correct position on the surface of the lake. The 2 little sensors at the bottom are going to be scanning the lake bed, and it's going to give you crisp, clear scan when you're retrieving it in on your rod and reel. Not only that, when you are reeling it in, you want to make sure that you have a nice, smooth, steady action, which again is going to give you the best scan quality.
So when using the Deeper, you need to make sure that it is totally waterproof for obvious reasons. Now on the Deeper itself, you've got the words water and proof and 4 arrows as well. Now to make sure that there is no water ingress, simply slide the 2 sections so that they meet like so, that the 2 of the arrows are opposite each other and the water and the proof sign is opposite each other. And that way you won't get any water inside the Deeper, and it will work perfectly. And a big carp has just shown out there. And again.
So my last tip then, once you've finished feature finding whatever it is that you're doing with your Deeper sonar, always make sure the 2 little sensors on the bottom are bone dry. Now you can dry it with a towel, on your joggers, on your hoodie, whatever you've got close to hand. Just make sure it is bone dry. I see it so many times on social media that people are experiencing, you know, the batteries drained, etc, etc. It was fully charged up at the start of my session. That is purely because once these sensors are wet, the Deeper sonar is on, it's active. So always make sure you dry the 2 little sensors at the bottom to make sure you're preserving your battery life.
Okay, so that rounds up the end of the day, and it was a very enjoyable few hours fishing. We didn't start fishing till around 12 o'clock, and I've got other commitments this evening, so I've actually got to go home. But Martin is staying on, and I can't blame him because there are some cracking fish in here. We started about 12 o'clock, found the bottom of that shelf, and the action was instant. 3 carp very quickly, and 3 very nice carp as well. So the barrow's loaded. I'm going to jump on the road, and hopefully Martin will catch a few whackers tonight.
Well then, there we go. A frantic 1 of 2 first light bites. Yeah, this one's just gone over the 26 pound mark. Off the area that I found yesterday with the Deeper, the sort of depth that I wanted to fish to, and it's all come good on the the following morning. So well happy with that. And we've got another one in the sling just resting for a minute, and that's slightly bigger than this one as well. So really happy. A great way to start a new day. So we'll get a couple of pictures, we'll slip it back and we'll get the bigger one out for you. Oh, there we go then. 28 pound plus of bulking brute It's yeah, gave me the right run around, and it's given me a good scrap on the mat as well. But yeah, just look at him, absolute belly on him. So yeah, the biggest one of the two this morning, and I'm well happy with that. So again, couple of snaps, snip it back, get the rods straight back out there, see if we can put a few more on the mat before home time. Okay, so I just want to take a minute or two of your time to talk to you about the Fish Deeper premium subscription. Now, there's a few ways that you can get hold of this. So if you purchase a Deeper Sonar, you'll get a free 3-month free trial of that, or you can purchase an annual subscription or even a month-on-month subscription. So there's something there to cater for everybody. And what this will give you is 50,000 lakes globally and access to their lake depths mapping. So depending on where you are in the world, you'll be able to scan in to the mapping and zoom in to your lake of choice, and you'll be able to see all the different depths that your lake contains. So you'll find the shallows, you'll find the deeps, you find all the ups and downs. So it's well worth looking into. I've used it for this session. Balkan Lake is on the premium subscription, and it's given me a bit of an insight before I've actually even set foot on the lake, just how deep, you know, certain areas of the lake are and where those big deep craters are that Balkan is renowned for. So it's allowed me to choose peg number 14 based on the weather conditions that I knew we were going to have. There's a nice big sort of shallow area down in this corner, which looked absolutely prime yesterday for a bite. And yeah, it's given me some good depths out in front as well, where you've seen already that I've had a few bites from. So it's really sort of helped me get an idea of yeah, what's in front of me and where I kind of wanted to be before I'd even stepped foot on the lake. So yeah, it's well worth looking into. Not only that, on your smartphone, tablet, or even your home PC or laptop, you can access it 24/7, create your own little catalogue of fisheries if you're looking to visit new venues, save them, and you can easily just go back and look at them with just a click of a few buttons. So well worth looking into. Right, well, we've come to the end of the session. This morning, after those couple of fish early doors, the weather has just been sort of all over the place, in all honesty. Yeah, torrential downpours 1 minute, beautiful sunshine the next, massive winds, yeah, you name it, we've had it this morning. So yeah, not quite sure what it's doing to the fish, but they seem to have dried up a little bit. So I'm going to give it another hour or so. I've got one solid bag left down there that I'm just going to sling out, hopefully nick myself a bonus fish. If not, thank you for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe to the CARPology channel. There'll be plenty more videos coming in the future, hopefully from the Deeper team. And yeah, thank you as always for watching.